Woo! What's up, everybody? It's your host, Shantae, and it has been a long time since we have been here together with each other. This isn't your average lecture. Welcome to the Uncensored College Playbook. I'm your host, Shantae, where I give you guys all the college readiness, spill all the college tea, and drop the best college hacks for you guys. And today you're listening to episode 4 of College Conversations, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about the burnout season and how to push through it when you're literally over it all. The time that I'm making this podcast, I'm actually hoping that you're seeing this towards the end of the semester. You know, it's November and it's semester things, so I know you guys are feeling that burnout, and I'm gonna be here to kind of guide you through what to do during the end of your semester. Okay. So first, I want to just talk about how it's been such a long time since I have recorded my last episode for you guys. That was actually 6 months ago, which is a shame. It's been 6 months since I've posted a podcast episode, but as you guys know, burnout does not only happen in college, it also happens post-college too. I did graduate, so you guys know I did graduate, so during those 6 months for my last episode, it was really just me trying to get everything together, figure out my life post-college as well. So it's been a little rough, but 6 months later, here we are, nice and situated. I'll do a whole another podcast episode on life after college, but I'm here to help you guys right now. But yeah, I've been going through my own little burnout, and these tips that I'm going to share with you guys today are actually what has helped me through college towards the ending of my college years, because I didn't really it didn't click to me like, wow, if I do these things, my experience is going to be so much easier, until like my last 2 years when I was commuting, but these tips help in college and outside of college as well. I do have my handy dandy phone here for some notes, you guys, because it's been a while. But yeah, today we're going to talk about how to push through burnout, how to reset in the middle of the semester, and how to come back stronger than ever. But guys, I did want to talk about the definition of burnout really quickly, because I feel like a lot of people have just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired, I'm burned out. Oh my gosh, I just took a run, I'm burned out. Like, burnout, there's an actual definition for this, you guys. And burnout, it says, is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged or excessive stress from overwhelming demands in life, such as caregiving or parenting. It's characterized by feelings of being drained, cynical, and ineffective, leading to reduced productivity and a sense of hopelessness. And excessive stress definitely comes when you're a student in college. So I know a lot of us are feeling burnout, whether you're a student who started off the year strong and you're trying to keep going strong, and it's towards the end of the semester, you have finals, and you're really feeling drained, depressed, burned out, or you're just that student who actually was doing so bad the beginning of the semester, but you're like, oh my gosh, I need to lock in or else I'm not getting any presents for Christmas, and now you're really feeling that stress and that burnout for trying to catch up on all your assignments. Yeah, that's you. If that's you, drop if any of those two options are you, drop a sub right now. But yeah, burnout comes in many different shapes or form for a lot of people, and it's when you have been going through a prolonged amount of excessive stress and you're just feeling out of it. I do have some tips and tricks that I do want to share with you guys to kind of get over that. When I was in college, I definitely felt a lot of burnout, and it's because I didn't do these things. And as well, for me, my burnout was I was working on campus. I was also running my own club, the Future Dentist Club. I was also active in SGA. I was also going to other clubs, and I was also just staying in touch with my social life, my personal life. So your girl was feeling very drained and burnt out at the time. I was also taking chemistry. At one point, I was doubling up on chemistry and bio. Bio was easier for me, but chemistry sucked. So a lot of my time went to studying. And it was just really hard for me to cope with everything, if we're being honest. So I definitely faced a good amount of burnout in my life, and I just wish I learned about these tips earlier. And yeah, you have family and friends who really tell you these things, but you really, let's be honest here, you don't listen, you don't take heed. That's why you go to YouTube and you find a video like mine to kind of get you through it, and then you listen. So that's when I started to listen. So yeah, you guys. All right. So I know a lot of you are probably feeling that burnout right now, whether you're a freshman just trying to adjust or even a commuter. And guys, commuters can feel burnout too. Just that drive alone is so exhausting. For me, I had to drive an hour, sometimes an hour 20 to 30 minutes just to get to class, as well as to get back home, and to do it all over again the next day, or sometimes I'd even have work before I had to go to school. So it was really a lot, and that can be very exhausting. So don't think commuters don't have burnout as well. But let's go through the tips. So tip number 1 that I have for someone pushing through burnout would be to prioritize self-care. I didn't really have a schedule going into like college. I tried really hard to make one, but because I had so many different things going on, it was very hard for me to actually like stick to one. So it was super hard, but now that I've been outside of college, prioritizing self-care has done a lot for me. Self-care can look like whatever just makes you happy, and you pouring into yourself. So for me, that's journaling. I like writing down my achievements, actually seeing it in front of me, actually setting goals, actually, going back and like, wow, I accomplished this goal. That's actually me writing how proud I am of myself of getting things done, pushing through. Self-care for me is also my skincare. I've been up to date with my skincare routine. I've been also up to date with my post-shower routine. So lotioning myself head to toe in shea body butter is my favorite thing to do, and while I'm doing that, I'm reflecting on my day, like, oh my gosh, today was such a good day. This is what we're gonna bring into the next day. This is what I need to do tonight to make tomorrow easier, because even when you're in school, what can you do today to make tomorrow easier? Why don't you want to have an easier, better, smoother, swifter day the next day as well? So that's what a lot of my self-care looks like. Just how can I make life easier for tomorrow? And just really thanking myself like for being here. Definitely meditating, definitely praying, getting closer to God, strengthening that relationship. That's what self-care looks like to me. And once I prioritize that, it just changed a lot. Guys, when you feel good, when you look good, you feel good. So just pouring into myself, doing even just like my makeup or things like that before work. Also, guys, one thing I realized is, why do we want to rush? Who wants to rush their days? Like, I used to be the type to have work at 9 and wake up at 8:30 and still get to work for 9. But when I realized, wow, I can wake up at 7 o'clock. I can take my morning shower. I can go for a run. I could do my ab exercise. I can come back, cook myself dinner, do what I have to do. Not dinner, cook myself breakfast, and then go to work and not feel like this pressure on me. It actually helps a lot. So even things like that, lifting like things like that off of your mental or like your mind, it just does help make things better, and that is you prioritizing yourself. So taking things slow and not having to rush and just slowing down in life, it just makes everything so much more worth it. But yeah, self-care. Also, you guys, don't feel like you can't take rest. Rest is a part of self-care. I watched this video before, and it was basically saying that the top most successful people in the world prioritize rest. If you're someone who feels like you don't even take an hour for yourself just to relax, I want you to right now pause the video, look in your schedule, and see where can I put in an hour of rest. Guys, you need rest. Your brain needs time to kind of like breathe. All right, let's jump back into it. Even when you're studying, I used to study for 4, 5, 6 hours straight through, which is horrible. But when you study for an hour, 2 hours, take a 30-minute, 45-minute break, go for a walk, talk, chill, and come back. If you're more disciplined and you have more control over your mind, you are going to be far more successful than the rest of the people. But rest is important, so please prioritize rest, because that's also you prioritizing self-care. Rest is important, and it can help you kind of offset being burnt out. So make sure you get rest. 2, focus on positivity. This all goes back to your mindset. This one has been a big one for me. Your mindset and being positive, like that's all I want around me. Positive people, positive friends. I kind of like, this is why I love journaling, because journaling helped me realize that I used to be very pessimistic, very negative, very like and then once I kind of shifted my mindset to just being a bit more positive, and like I saw a video where it's like, for example, you go to Starbucks and the worker forgets to put whipped cream on your strawberry latte. Are you gonna get mad at her? Or instead of getting mad and being like, you didn't put the whipped cream, like, why can't you just be like, hey, you forgot the whipped cream? maybe they just had a bad morning, maybe they're working a double, maybe, like, you never know what's going on. And then, don't get me wrong, guys, I saw in the comments someone was like, oh, that's a great way for people to walk over you. Of course, you have to have discernment and know, like, all right, you're just doing the most, and, you know, you actually don't, you know, you're not being nice here. You're walking over me, kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's all about mindset and just even being positive, especially in the sense of college as well. Like, hey, I did not get a good grade on this test. We need to stop beating ourselves up on what we didn't do right and start, like, being more focused and more positive on what can we do to get better at this. Oh my gosh, I failed this exam. Oh my gosh, I didn't do good. Or, oh, I missed office hours last week. What can I do to make sure I make it this week? What can I do to make sure I improve my grade? What can I do to, like, bring new fun ideas to this club, you know, make a name for myself? Start thinking on the brighter side of things, okay? Because that really does have an effect on you, and just being so negative on yourself and beating yourself up can contribute to burnout. So when you are being more positive, you will see such a better effect. Just that alone, just me prioritizing self-care as well as not beating myself up and being more positive, it definitely did help me, you know, get through 2 years of commuting, as well as just overall being a better person. Step number 3 would be to push through strategically, okay? So pushing through strategically just means, this also goes in hand with step number 4, which is to be organized. Organization is like the number one thing I could tell anyone. Like, if I had one tip to anyone entering college, it would just be to be organized, because that is going to help solve half of your problems. And to be honest, burnout is happening for majority of you right now because you're not being organized. You don't know when your assignments are. You're not blocking out time management. Yes, time management is also organization, because you're organizing your time. So yes, you need to be time blocking. You're not organizing your time and utilizing your time to the best of your ability, so you are going to feel more burned out. Oh my gosh, I don't have time to study. Oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. But you're resting for 8 hours. I know I said you need rest, but you don't need to be resting for 8 hours a day, you guys. The only 8 hours of rest you need is when you're going to sleep to wake up for the next day. But yeah, so step number 3 is to be more organized. A lot of people like to make the whole Excel thing. I like to break things up very small. I'm a week by week kind of person. Sometimes even a day by day. What am I going to get done today? What am I going to get done tomorrow? Like, what can wait till tomorrow? What can wait till Friday? What do I need to get done today? When I was in college towards my last 2 years, that planner was my best friend, and it should have been my best friend from the first year. So if you have a planner, use it. I still have my planner from my school that I still use just to write stuff down in. But being organized is going to help save you a bunch of mental stress, and putting things down on paper, actually seeing the due dates, actually seeing what assignments you have, especially since, I don't know about for you guys, but my college experience was, it wasn't really a lot of assignments. It was more so projects, especially being a public health major. It was more so projects that were broken up over the semester. So like for the first month, we had to make sure we had A, B, and C done for the checklist, and D, E, F for the next week, GHI for like the next week. So it required me to have to set these like mental dates of like, all right, this is when I need to meet with my group, and by this date we need to have this done. I was the type to write it on paper. So being organized in that way, or even sometimes making column lists like Monday through Friday, writing down everything that I had to do, crossing it off. I'm a list kind of person, so you have to kind of find what works for you. Even balance, guys. Sometimes an assignment that should be taking you 30 minutes, why is it taking you 2 hours? Someone like me, I'm a timers kind of girl. I'm gonna set timers. Like, I'm looking at this assignment, I know it's gonna take me 30 minutes. We're not going to take 2 hours on this assignment. I was watching a video. I watch a lot of self-help podcasts and listen to them as well, and read a lot of self-help books. Some of the most successful people in the world are people who know how to use their time and are very quick and are very fast with getting things done, because it allows them to make room to do more things and to push themselves and to excel. So when you're just taking 2 hours on an assignment that could have taken you 30 minutes, you just wasted an hour and a half to either go to the gym and work on your physical and mental health, or an hour and a half to study something else, an hour and a half to clean clean, get ready, an hour and a half to rest. So just being faster on your feet and being able to get things done quickly opens up more time for you to do other things. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your assignments, when you're lollygagging, when you're doing things like that. And that also rolls into tip number 4, which was to plan strategically, you guys. Pushing through burnout doesn't mean you're grinding nonstop. That actually contributes to the burnout. So focusing on one task at a time really does matter, and it allows you to literally, wow, I'm actually getting things done. That's why I like to make lists and cross things out. So I'm seeing like, wow, this is working, you know? Starting little by little helps build that easygoing momentum, and it gets you to where you need to go, and you'll feel more accomplished and less overwhelmed. Tip number 5, reconnect with purpose. A part of feeling burnt out, a part of feeling burnout, like a side thing that kind of comes with that is kind of like losing your focus. You just feel like you've been doing so much work. I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I don't even know, like, who am I? What do I like to do? Reconnect with your purpose and your motivation. I want you to really take time and think about, like, why, who, what, where, when, and why are you doing what you're doing right now? Just reconnect with your purpose. I'm not gonna lie, for example, when I stopped making these episodes from being burnt out with like post-college stuff, kind of figuring out life after college, I had to reconnect with my purpose. If I show you my journal right now, you guys, it's literally me planning out, thinking strategically, think, plan, execute. I started thinking like, I haven't made an episode in 6 months. This is horrible. This is what I want to do. Like, as you guys can tell, I love yapping. Like, this is what I want to do. Why have I not been doing it? I planned. I wrote down my plan, my next 10, not even 10, my next 24 video ideas, topics, everything like that in that notebook. So that way I can't say, oh, I don't know what to do. I know what to do for the next 24 videos. Think, plan, and now here I am executing. I reconnected with my purpose. I really sat and thought like, wow, 6 months is a long time. Like, I wonder where I would have been right now if I had kept going from that 6 months. So, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, reconnect with your purpose, your motivation. Like, why do I want to do this podcast? To give back to people and, let you guys have a big, like, sister, who's giving you guys this college advice that really does help if you utilize it. So reconnecting with your purpose, like, wow, I'm going to school because I really want this kind of lifestyle. Wow, I'm going to school because I want to make a difference within this field. Or, wow, I'm doing this because, whatever your reason may be, I want to show my mom and dad that I can graduate college, that I am built for this. Stuff like that. Just reconnecting with your purpose and reminding yourself of why you're even going through it. Because I promise you guys, it will be the quickest 4 years of your life. It went by in a flash for me. Still can't believe it's over. Like, I drive past 3:30 and I'm seeing buses dropping kids off, and I'm like, there's no way I'm not on a bus no more. There's no way I don't have homework. Like, y'all have homework type of thing. But visualizing, finishing strong, getting through the semester will definitely help keep you going, even when the drive feels like it's literally not there and you're pulling it out of your rear. And my last tip for you guys is to literally just know when to step back and to start implementing these things. I think being in tune with yourself and knowing yourself to a T, to the point where you're like, wow, I'm starting to feel burned out. Like, let me do a little bit more self-care. Let me show myself a little bit more love. Let me prioritize rest. Let me start organizing what I have to do. I like to call it mental declutter, which is where you take everything in your brain, put it on a piece of paper. Like, these are the things that I have to do. Let me then organize these things, what needs to get done today, tomorrow, by the end of the week, and by the end of the month, and then keep going. Like, these are things that I just feel like are super duper important. And I think being able to just visualize and know when to take a step back because you feel the burnout happening, is a great thing. And even if you're in the midst of burnout, being able to recognize, you can't, they say like, you don't realize you have a problem until you acknowledge it. So if you can't acknowledge that you have burnout, even in the midst of being burnt out, like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, I do not feel like my normal self, like, it just feels like the world is pounding on me, I have so many assignments, I have so many things to do, let's, take a step back. Just being able to do that and to have that step and that mindset, it's going to separate you a lot from the rest, because you're not going to keep thinking you're grinding grinding nonstop. No, you realize you're burned out. And when you're burned out, you guys, you're not even pushing yourself to your fullest potential. You're just like living on a cycle. So imagine you thinking that you're doing so much while you're burned out, guys. If you if you implemented rest into your schedule and you just continued on doing what you're doing, like where was I going with that, you guys? No, if you realize that you need to implement rest and do so much more to like self-care wise, you would realize, oh my gosh, once you do those things, like I can work 10 times harder. Guys, when I wasn't taking care of myself, when I wasn't eating, when I wasn't prioritizing health, when I wasn't, putting myself first, I could not do anything. Now I wake up, it is now a habit to eat breakfast, to make myself some eggs, to actually eat food. You have to get rid of that person you once were in order to build a successful new you, which has been one of like my most favorite like quotes or kind of thing that's been lingering on my mind right now, because it is so real. Like, you have to kill those old habits, make room for these new habits to kind of see a better you and just to make your life easier. Who doesn't want to make their life easier, right? So you guys, I know we are all going through burnout, and if you're just feeling burned out or overwhelmed, I want you to know that you're not alone, and that it's totally okay to just take some time. It's okay to reset, and it's okay to take a break, especially with this whole content thing. Like, it's okay to take time. Like, it took me 6 months to film a new episode, and it's okay. Like, not saying you should take a 6 months break from anything because you're in school, but if you need to I took a week, you guys, and I took a week because I knew I could and I knew my way around it. But I took a week and I did absolutely nothing. Like, I probably shouldn't be advising you guys that, but I'm just being honest. Like, sometimes it's like that. For the sake of your mental health, you need to take a break, whether it's a week, whether it's 3 days, whether you don't go to class for 2 days, to just get yourself together. Do not feel bad about doing so, because it is important, and it's definitely okay to start over in the middle of the semester. So if you're someone who's, giving it your all right now, you did your calculations, you need a 95 in order to pass the class, study, think strategically, because it is possible. And remember, you guys, you can put your mind to anything, and you can do anything that you put your mind to, okay? So just to remind you guys, I am posting videos every Monday and Thursday on this channel. On Mondays, it's more of our, sisterly advice to, my brothers and sisters out there in college. And then on Thursdays is when we have our fun reading our college confessions. If you're currently attending a college right now, there's a link down below for you to submit your own direct college confessions to me so I can review them on a Thursday. You know what, you guys? I'm going to be honest, there's 47 subscribers right now. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. Please comment down below, subscribe to this video, give this video a thumbs up. I'm glad to be back. I'm excited to see where I'm going to be 6 months from now, you guys. I really had the idea to do this, and just like Michael Jackson or Prince, whichever one, they said that whenever they got an idea, they executed it because they thought the other person was going to take it, or that idea is going to be given to someone else for them to execute it. So I had this idea to do College Conversations podcast, so I'm going to think, plan, and execute, and you guys should do the same as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 4 of College Conversation, Burnout Season, and how to push through it even when you don't feel like it. Alright, you guys, I promise you, if you stick to these tips that I've given you guys are going to see a big difference, a big change in your life. And yeah, love you guys. Bye.